Dude, you wanna fight?
You first, bro.
Okay.
NANI?!
Bakara.
Hello Axie Faction, welcome back. This last update had everybody in a tizzy, including myself. But my initial reaction may have been a bit preemptive. It is not just sustained builds that are ruling the meta right now. In fact, I have a very aggressive build that has been unstoppable in the arena. So let me explain to you how this build works and why it's so strong. Mais first, it's important you understand I am not a financial advisor. I simply love Axie and I want to share that love with you. D'accord. So this is the team right here, and I'm calling it fried eggs because you do not want to use an eggshell against this team. Now we're utilizing the Topaz Beast in the back lane, and I'm considering switching it out for something that has a bit more AoE considering all the birds we've seen in the arena, but so far this has been working great for me. As for the charms, we're going Mask of Frenzy on Imp, Ronin, and Goda. And of course, we've got the Endless Anger rune on there as well. Now, as for the mid line, we have this Aqua with 3 banished cards in Innocent Lamb, Telescope, and Nemo. And you'll notice we're playing 2 2-cost cards on this Axie, which usually I don't recommend, but in this circumstance, it works great and you'll understand why soon. Now, the secret to this build is Scotch Tape on Nemo. Scotch Tape allows you to retain Nemo throughout rounds. We also have pre-order tag on Telescope, and when we get into the games, you'll understand what the strategy is. As for the rune, of course, Heart of the Ocean to make sure we have enough sustainability to keep ourselves alive long enough to get our combos out there. Now, our beast in the front is utilizing a very similar strategy. So we have Scotch Tape on Cottontail and pre-order tag on Zeal. Again, 3 banished cards, Zeal, Innocent Lamb, and Cottontail. Having our 2-cost card in here in Little Branch is very helpful as well for our strategy, and you might not think much of Tiny Turtle, but it's actually very useful, especially now that we're seeing much more shield cards and those birds like Mavis and Robin. Tiny Turtle can target anything now, so it can help us get rid of those pesky little summon units. All right, now that we've had the full team reveal, let's get into our first match. All right, so we're starting off first in this game, so you can start to see the first turn beauty here. We're gonna start with Innocent Lamb on the Beast to make a copy of Cottontail, Innocent Lamb on the Aqua to make a copy of Nemo. Then we're gonna use Zeal to search out for our second Cottontail, and Telescope to search out for our second Nemo, and then we're gonna pass. And because we have sticky tape on there, we're gonna hold on to all of those cards. And now that we've already banished all of our Innocent Lambs and Telescopes, we can guarantee all 5 cards we draw into next turn are going to be attack cards. Our opponent manages to deal a good amount of damage to our frontline beast, bringing him down to about halfway. And now you see we draw into 5 attack cards here. We're going to start off with Goda, bring it right into the banished pile. Then we're going to go in with Perch, use our big 2-cost card. Doesn't seem like we're doing too much damage there, but that's all right. That's all right. We're going to go ahead, and after this damage goes through, we're going to use our Cottontails, both of them to heal up that frontline beast a little bit. That health on that front line is worth so much because of the Penguin Scale, and our Nemo as well. Then we go in with Lamb, our Topaz, and then we're gonna hit him with the Ronin for 120 damage on a Pangolin beast. If that beast wasn't using Pangolin, that would be 150 damage. So not only do we get way more damage output because of those energy, but it also makes our Ronin deal way more damage than it normally would. So he goes off with a Chubby, deals a good amount of damage across the team, also applying bleed to every single one of my Axies. Finishes it off with a Goda, and it's back to my turn. Now we're in a great position here. We've already killed his Pangolin, which was supposed to be his wall, his damage absorption. It's already out of there, and that midline beast with the blood rune is not going to stand up against our attacks. We're going to use that last Nemo to play a Nian, almost killing that midline beast, bringing him down to 34 health, and it's back to his turn now. Let's see what he draws into. Not too many options here. He's going to have to use the Confident that brings him into Fury so he can get a little bit more damage output than he normally would. He's going to play the Imp to deal a good amount of damage to my Aqua there, and then he's going to play the Ronin to bring it down to 20 health, almost taking it out, but it's not going to bother us one bit because you're gonna see once we draw into our hand, we're gonna take out that midline beast real quick. Boom, just like that. Now we can use the topaz to deal some serious damage. We're gonna go ahead and use the perch. That's gonna give us the biggest damage output because we're gonna get extra damage from those rage stacks per hit. So we're doing 36 damage as opposed to 30 damage per hit there. And at this point, it's all over. He's gonna take out my Aqua here, but there's no way he's gonna take out my beast. Now, if he had actually opted not to use that Confident prior, he would be going into Fury this turn and have a much better chance at taking out this beast, but he actually draws into the Void this turn, which seriously limits his options. He decides to go with the Believer, dealing 3 hits, but he cannot get the kill. It's back to my turn. It doesn't matter what I draw into here. I actually get a Void as well, but it doesn't matter. A single Imp is going to take this guy out, and we've got our W. So you can see here that even though I can attack on my first turn, I am so successful at setting up for my next turn that I just come in with a huge barrage of attacks that are impossible to defend against.
But what if they put you to sleep or they use eggshell? What then?
Alright, well, for our next match, let's go up against some birds, and this time we'll go second so you can see the strategy still works. Alright, so in this game, we're going second against a team with 2 stun options. They've got Double Talk on the bird, and they've also got Rosa on the plant, so we've definitely got to be careful with that. He's already got a leaf out there, so he's going to keep that bird alive indefinitely, but I draw into a tiny turtle, so I can target that bird, getting the Mavis out of there as early as possible. Then I'm going to continue with my strategy from last game. I could go ahead and use my Zeal and Telescope for some regular damage cards, but I know he's probably going to eggshell soon, so I want to make sure I have enough energy and damage output to take out that bird in 1 turn. Now, of course, he manages to draw into both the eggshell and the Double Talk. He puts my backline beast to sleep and taunts the bird, but that's okay because we have so many 2-cost cards on our midline and front line. We should be able to draw into enough cards to take out that bird just with those front 2 Axies. So there you can see we start off with the little branch, the lamb. We're gonna use both the cottontails to get the perch out as well, finishing off that bird. We're not gonna let him spread our damage around and play us like a fool. We're gonna get rid of that bird as soon as possible. We cannot play the cards on the backline beast, but that's perfectly fine because those Nemos have retained. So I can save them for another turn when they're absolutely necessary. He comes in here with a Chubby, again hitting all 3 of our Axies for big damage, 71 damage on the 2 Axies without the Pangolin scale, puts our midline Aqua to sleep, so I can no longer use those Nemos, but that's perfectly fine. I'm going to go in with a Goda that's going to go right into the banish pile, giving him a Void as well. I am now confused, so I'm taking some curse cards. Now I'm going in with the Ronin, and I'm going to hit him with the Ronin on the back line as well, dealing a decent amount of damage, and we're going to go ahead and pass. He is most likely going to take out my Pangolin beast on this turn, but there's no way he takes out my Aqua as well. He starts off with a little branch, actually bringing him into Fury mode. He finishes off that Pangolin beast, and instead of dealing damage to the Aqua, he opts to put Hatsune on that plant. So if I attack into there, I'm getting another confused onto my beast there. Now, I start off with Oranda, and that's because I don't want the Confused to stack on my beast, which just went into Fury mode. So I'm going to play that nut. I don't have a whole lot of other options. I can go for the Longsword. Now I have a very tough decision to make here. Does he have enough damage output to kill that Aqua? Is it worth holding on to those Nemos, or should I just play them now? I know he's already played his Little Branch last turn, which is his biggest damage card, and by looking at his deck, I know that there are 12 cards in there, and at least one of them is not his, so there's a big chance he draws into a bunch of revenge cards, and I actually opt to hold on to those Nemos because I'm betting on the chance that he cannot kill that Aqua. And as you can see, our prediction came to pass. Not only does he draw a Void, but the only card native to that Axie that he draws is Hero, which does allow him to draw another card, so he gets a Nutcracker as well, but he still can't kill that Aqua. So holding on to those Nemos was definitely the right play, and as you can see, it's about to pay off. So we draw into our hand here. I'm going to start off with the Imp. That's going to put a Rage counter on both of our Axies. Nian for some good damage as well. Finish it with the Fallen Longsword. Now I can play both those Nemos to get my Perch out as well. And after all 4 of those hits get out there, 36 damage. 36 damage again. You can see it doesn't take that much. We're going to get our second W. So, after seeing all that, do you still think first turn disarm is broken? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you in the arena.
Nani?
I'm sorry, I couldn't
That's
get past
okay.
that. I'm sorry.
Dude, I didn't. Sorry. You were punching past me.
Let's keep
You should have kept it going,
I
dude.
know, I know.
You should have kept going.
My bad.
Dude, the takes when you mess up are the best takes.